Hello there, geniuses. I'm back again with a new and improved headset mic, so all of you can hear me loud and clear. And if I'm out and about and I want to do a video or a live or something, you're probably going to see me with this. So I know I look like an air traffic controller or something like that, but hey, it gets the job done. Okay, in this video, I have prepared count them, 5 points to cover with you. And so these are going to be tips for INFJs or any empaths. Is that you? Or maybe you know somebody. So you can improve your day-to-day life. So if you're an INFJ, if you're introverted and intuitive, if you're an empath, if you fall into any of those categories, this video should be useful for you. And it's everything that also I've learned from my own experience. So I realized recently that this is something I can do very easily if I just come up with some points. So here we go, all 5. Number 1, boundaries for the heart, protecting your energy as an empath. So if you're an introvert, you probably already know very well that being around a bunch of extroverts, just being around people in general, is tiring. Why is it tiring? Well, because we're using more energy than we want to. We're getting energy from them. We're kind of deciding how to deal with it or not to deal with it. There's a constant flow of energy going on, and we're losing energy basically in the process. It's not always a bad thing. It could be positive energy, but it's just we're always kind of absorbing it and going the extra mile to share our energy as well. And a lot of times it's just to inspire or bring the room to a better place. But whatever it is, we really need boundaries for our heart, for our body, our energy, because if we don't, then we're kind of setting ourselves up for failure every time we deal with a crowd of people or whatever that situation is. So how can you do that? One way that was a challenge for me for a long time, and sometimes it still is to just say no. If Especially if it's somebody that you already know you can say no to and they'll be fine with it, that shouldn't be hard. If it's somebody else that maybe isn't going to take it well, you're going to have to learn how to do it. And yes, you're probably going to tailor it a little bit differently to everybody. Maybe you can come up with a strategy on how to do that and go about it in a nicer way or something. Really, the answer is to just say no. If it's something that you shouldn't be expected to do, something they shouldn't expect you to do. And so we have to respect ourselves and be clear about that kind of stuff if we want others to respect us. Otherwise, we're kind of telling them it's okay to do that. So I've had to learn this over decades the hard way. Everything I ever teach you or try to bestow to you to improve your life, I've made all the bad choices first, trust me. And there's plenty of things I'm still learning. But we got to say no. We got to come up with some sort of boundaries. If you know you've reached your limit of energy spent with other people, maybe it's time to walk away. Who cares what they think about you? We have our own life too, and it's not always going to match up with what the extroverts want to do. That's just how it is. And my final answer on that is if they don't uh, understand you, if they don't try to understand why you feel that way, why you are the way you are, then they were never really a good friend to begin with. Number 2, the power of solitude. Kind of going into the same topic, but so why does alone time heal the INFJ soul? And again, this isn't just for INFJs, but if you're an INFJ, you definitely will get this 1,000%. Having that solitude, which is just time alone and away from everybody, whatever kind of people they are, personality, it's literally like our safe space as far as just removed from all the positive, negative energy and just able to think clearly, uh, whether it be about our goals, relationships, our work, study time, just straight up relaxing, whatever it is, it allows us to recharge. It's like going to the gas station and filling up our tank, but instead, this is with rest and energy and just able to take on the world again. So we really need that solitude time every day. Um, there's going to be days, of course, if work is crazy or something, you just can't do it. But it should be something that you literally try to improve yourself on having regular time alone when you need it in the right amounts. And all the little nitty gritty details you have to come up with and figure out your own plan on how to implement it because we're all different. But again, if you're an empath or an INFJ, an introvert, then there's nothing wrong with you for feeling that way. It's just how we're made. It's how we've been created to be. And there's so many ways we could list off that they are strengths because we're able to, we don't need other people to do certain things, to process things, to make ourselves feel better. We're self-consoling in that way. And so personally, from everything I've learned, I would rather be an introvert than an extrovert, but I'm biased. So, okay, moving on. Number 3, feel, don't absorb, a guide to managing emotional overload. So, again, this is kind of about not just extroverts, just this is about being around people in general, because, like I said, they steal our energy, whether we want them to or not, whether they mean to or not. So, what it means to feel and not absorb is, let's say somebody that we're around, they're in a bad mood. They just have this massive negative energy, and we can feel it right away. And it bothers us. Maybe you get that sick feeling in your stomach, like, this is not good. I don't want to be here. I don't want to be around this. There is a conscious choice that we can make to sort of absorb it and let it become part of us, or to kind of put up the imaginary hand and just say, no, this is not me. I don't need to feel this. I don't need to take responsibility for their energy. I can only tell you from experience that there is a moment, if I'm paying attention to it, that when I feel it and realize that this is the current situation I'm dealing with, that I can kind of put up a wall and just say, they're just, they're off in left field. I don't need to deal with this. This is not my responsibility. So, but you have to be aware of it. And this is why I'm telling you this, is because if you're aware of it, you cannot let yourself absorb it. Yes, it's still going to be in the room. There's going to be this aura of negativity, but a lot of the battle is in your mind and just how you let it control you. Um, just be aware of it. And then again, with everything else that we're talking about in this video, figure out how you can manage it, deal with it. If you're in the situation like that with somebody negative in the room, well, how soon can you get away from it? Right? Just a very logical answer. You can't always do it, but that's why, number 1, I said it comes up to how you handle it in your mind, because they are not you. You may feel it, but you don't have to accept it for yourself. Okay, and then we're on to number 4, trust your intuition, navigating life with INFJ clarity. And so again, we're talking about ways that you can improve your day-to-day life right now. Trust your intuition. If you've been aware that you're an empath or INFJ, an intuitive person for a while, and you're kind of learning this stuff, maybe you've watched a lot of YouTube videos, whatnot, then you are probably getting a good understanding that your intuition is not just some, possible chance that some of this is going to come true, but you can see in hindsight of times when you were at least mostly right more than you were wrong on things that people would think you were a psychic about. Like, how did you know that? Hey, what a great guesser you are. But No, we're not psychics. We don't have a magic wand or crystal ball. We're just always connecting the dots. And since we're talking a lot about people in this video, we're sort of natural body language experts. We don't know how to maybe teach it. We don't know all the little details. Like if you've ever heard a body language expert break down, oh, the eye blinks and the number of blinks per minute changed to, I don't know, 50, 60. No, we're not thinking about any of that sort of knowledge about body language reading. We're just naturals at it. And it's kind of mystical in that way because we're just born with it. Again, we're just created that way. And so we pick up on all the little nuances of people that we talk to, somebody that we see on TV, anywhere. And so we're really good at being natural lie detectors, body language experts, how somebody's moving. And even better if it's somebody that we know well, because you can tell by looking at them if they're in a good mood, if they're stressed, if they're in a rush. That's a good one, right? Have you ever seen somebody in a rush? It's really obvious if it's somebody that you know well, because it's like, oh, they're moving at a little bit quicker speed than they normally do. Uh, and it's kind of funny and sometimes not fun because we can't just say it. We could say immediately, oh, you're in a rush or something. But we can't put everything out there. So we kind of end up with these secrets that we don't tell anybody. But so back to the fourth out of the fifth point, trust your intuition, because you can look in hindsight and see that it's probably worth relying on. And so I don't want to say just only trust your intuition and don't listen to data of any kind, but your intuition is a very good skill and it can help you to navigate life. So, what are you wanting to improve today? Or what are one of your short and long term goals? What's your intuition telling you to do? It's probably more right than wrong. Okay. Okay. And then the last one, number 5, the self care checklist, daily rituals for empaths and INFJs. So let me just read this really quick and then I'll give you my own sort of tips and experience. So develop a daily self-care routine, including journaling, nature walks, or meditative practices. These activities will help you process emotions and feel grounded amidst the sensory overload of the outside world that we've been talking very much about. So I haven't always been good about making a checklist or writing things down or journaling. I've gotten a lot better the last couple of years, but still, it's not really one of my most favorite things to do. However, I'm always thinking about what I should do, what I could do better and improve. INFJs tend to be very self-development oriented, but regardless of who you are, your personality, your experience, any sort of checklist, having any sort of daily routine is crucial to being a successful person at whatever you want to do. Because no matter what it is you want to do, we need to do those things every single day. And at first, it's kind of like a habit, or it's building a habit. So let's just take going to the gym, for instance. Those first 2-3 weeks, maybe a couple months, is kind of a grind if you haven't been doing it. But once you get past a couple months, especially of it, it's almost like a second nature. Oh yeah, it's 5 o'clock, or well, it could be in the morning or at night, whatever it is. It's just time to do what I always do, and you don't think about it. So for me, I made it a habit that, hey, when it's Monday through Friday, I'm going to try at a minimum to be at the gym. If I'm feeling good on the weekend, I'm going to go then too, because why not? It's just going to reinforce the habit and keep me in even better shape. And just from doing very simple workouts on a regular basis, even 10 or 15 minute lazy workouts, it just has reinforced the habit. My health has improved a lot. I feel better. I have more energy to do the things I want to do. And so just take that example and now apply it to something that you want to learn or be better at. What if you did that 5 minutes every day or 10 minutes? Well, at first it's kind of maybe seem like a chore even to do that much, but then it would get really easy. And then again, after a couple months, it would be a piece of cake. And in fact, you'd probably be doing 20, 30, 40 or hours worth of it. And so as far as being proactive, focusing on yourself, improving yourself, now we're kind of talking about like your hobbies or career goals. It all comes down to the daily habit. So that was the self-care checklist, talking about your daily routine. And I think INFJs are among the best at being able to improve themselves, as well as empaths, because we're so in tune to what's affecting us mentally and spiritually that if we just hone that, if we just kind of put it into a little bit of a logical box and realize that nothing's going to stop us, none of those energies are going to stop us if we just sort of follow a roadmap. If we just do that and take some really simple steps, then you're going to have a lot of success. So I think that's all I want to talk about in this video. I went way longer than I planned to, but hopefully that was helpful for some of you. I tend to just go with the flow with these kind of videos, and we'll keep posting videos on the channel related to psychology and INFJs and all that kind of stuff. But occasionally I'll do some videos like these that are kind of more like tutorials, talking to you. And so if you have any comments or suggestions, I'm all ears for your ideas, and we'll try to do that when I get a chance. So until next time, thanks for watching and take care.